But I really appreciate being here. This is my first time being as part of this. I appreciate being welcomed by Miles and Tina into the group here and the opportunity to speak. You know, the IAC group here up front, and then we've got several folks from my team, Facundo, Holly, and Colton up here up front. They're the ones that are not only driving the project, but also behind the scenes, looking at the standards and things along those lines to make things happen. So a lot of exciting things happen within our company. And it's really a small world. You'd be surprised how small the world is sometimes. I had a drink last night with Jason Kessler. Jason and I played high school baseball together about 40 years ago and hadn't run into each other until we ran into this conference. And it was great to see him. Hadn't seen him in a while, and it's just great to be here with you all. Talk a little bit about Steel Dynamics and who we are as an organization. We are the third largest steel producer in the United States. We're entirely electric arc furnace steel production. What that means is we utilize scrap as our raw material. And so as a result, we have a subsidiary, wholly owned subsidiary, OmniSource. We are the largest North American recycler of metals out there. And so with that, as we look at our carbon footprint as an industry, it's actually put us in a pretty strong position. We've also had some other circular manufacturing models that we've created. When I started with the company in 1997, I was involved in a project called Iron Dynamics that takes steel mill waste and converts that into a pig iron product that's poured molten into our furnaces. So it's been a game changer for that facility up in Butler, Indiana. So as a company, we find ourselves in a leadership position from a carbon footprint standpoint. But we also recognize that there's more that we can do, there's more that we should do. And so in 2023, we actually met our goals that we set back in 2021 toward our 25 goals. And then what this slide is showing is our new goals that we've set that are essentially a net zero goal by 2050 and another significant reduction by 2030. We were intimately involved in forming the Global Steel Climate Council, which is a standard that has the most comprehensive boundary when it relates to calculating steel emissions. And so we're proud of our involvement with that as well. So where are we at? We're starting based on our 2022 baseline at a 0.94 intensity, driving toward a 0.80 by 2030. We do have a couple of significant projects that are underway. One is our Canyon Wind facility that's in West Texas that produces over 1 million megawatt hours of electricity that gets put onto the grid. But then what I'll be spending most of the time talking about today will be our SDI Biocarbon Solutions project that is a significant potential reduction for us as a company. Before I do that, this is a little bit more on the Canyon Wind project. It's 308 megawatts of capacity. We melt our scrap with electricity. So having a low carbon footprint as it relates to the electricity is important. This facility accounts for around 15% of our total electrical consumption as an organization. As an organization, we consume about 8 gigawatt hours per year. So a lot of electricity that we consume as a steel producer. So the biocarbon project, this slide really relates to why did we get involved. We see ourselves as a decarbonization leader in the industry, so it creates opportunities for us to lead in that and differentiate ourselves. The pyrolysis process, we believe strongly in what biomass and what biomass pyrolysis can bring to decarbonization. I think the point was made earlier that there are a whole lot of folks out there chasing different technologies that are years and years away, lots of dollars that have to go toward making those things happen. Biocarbon, biomass, biochar, all those things that you all are working on, those things are here, it's now, and it's a nature-based solution, so it makes a heck of a lot of sense. For us, it's also important to onshore our supply chain. So we replace anthracite coal that's utilized in our process with biocarbon. A lot of the anthracite coal comes from eastern part of the United States, but it also is onshored from or imported from places like Russia, Ukraine. So having a secure supply of biocarbon to feed our facilities is very important. Last but not least is our customers and investors. They are helping to incentivize us to further drive reductions within our facilities. A lot of support, a lot of interest for the biocarbon project, our Canyon Wind project, and numerous visits to the facility. And then other spin-off opportunities, and that's part of the reason why we're here today, is as we learn about things beyond steelmaking, the things that you all are working on that can further drive reductions of decarbonization, benefits to agriculture, the carbon sequestration elements. There's just a huge amount of opportunity here that's available here and now. So where is the facility located? It's located in the northeastern part of Mississippi, near Columbus, Mississippi, which is also close to the Mississippi State campus. We actually have quite a presence down in this region of the country. Our company's headquarters in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but we have a steel mill that's been operating for upwards of 15 years. And we also are in the process of constructing an aluminum dynamics facility. This flyover that you're seeing here is not recent, that's before construction. That's a $2 billion investment to insert ourselves into the aluminum market. And then in the bottom right-hand corner is our Biocarbon Solutions project, which is about a 90-acre facility. Right, grab my water. So a little bit more about the project that we have underway in Columbus, Mississippi. As I mentioned, it's a replacement for anthracite coal. It is, to our understanding, the largest project like this anywhere like it in the world. We'll be producing over 200,000 metric tons per year of biocarbon. The capital expenses to construct the facility is over $300 million. We've been commissioning the facility as we are completing things ever since the beginning of the first quarter of this year. And the facility, the construction is essentially complete, and we're really heavy into the commissioning startup phases and anxious to get to that point of producing our first saleable product. As I mentioned, the emissions reductions with this associated with the replacement of the anthracite is significant. It's up to a 35% reduction in our Scope 1 emissions. And the process, really relatively simple. We're taking southern yellow pine from the local region there. We are chipping that to the appropriate size. We're drying that, and then we're utilizing a biomass pyrolysis to convert that into a high fixed carbon as a replacement for anthracite. We're pelletizing that, and then we're storing it for shipment to the steel mill, which will go either by truck or by rail. I think the main reason that I share this slide and why we created this slide is one of our customers once said, hey, what happens when Jeff cuts down all the trees in Mississippi? What are we going to do? And the reality is that Mississippi is a southern yellow pine. Really, it's the third largest crop. It's an ongoing generated production process, and converting that southern yellow pine into useful products and byproducts. And we are utilizing PEFC as our certification, so all of our wood that we're consuming, the wood fiber that we're consuming, will be PEFC certified for that circularity. We have about 70 employees that are at the facility, but I would say that there's a large amount of effort that has to happen in the woods in order to get that material to us, and we'd estimate 4 to 5 times that as far as benefits to jobs in the local community. So where do we source it from? Roughly, we're looking at a 60 to 65 mile radius, which is pretty common in the region there. That's what the local transportation loggers target as a 60 to 65 mile radius. That's what's most economical to get the material to our facility. And then what I'm going to show you here is a video that is this is our facility. This is back in June. In the bottom left-hand corner is our log crane, where we're unloading the logs that are coming in via truck. That material is chipped and then transported to the left-hand side of the screen over here. I'm not sure if I can get a pointer over there or not, but we have a screening hammer mill, 2 dryers here that are drying the biomass, 4 reactors, pyrolysis reactors, followed by a pelletizing facility. Again, this is the pelletizing facility. We come out of that and we convey to our product storage, which is back over here in the corner. We have incoming rail, CPKC, delivering rail cars into the area we can ship to our 3 steel mills that are not located near Mississippi, and then we can also receive by truck. We have a small water treatment facility for cooling water, fire suppression, and other cooling needs within the facility. We also do use a wet electrostatic precipitator, regenerative thermal oxidizer for pollution control. So it is state-of-the-art emissions control. All emissions are comply with a Title V permit. So that's essentially the facility. We're really excited. As I mentioned, that video that you saw was from June of this year. So the construction of the facility is largely complete. We're in startup now, and really one of the reasons why we're here is so we've got this product that is allocated to the steel mills, and we're understanding, hey, there might be some other opportunities or benefits of this product that could go elsewhere. And so really excited about what we're hearing from the group here and everything that you're working on. I think it has a lot of environmental benefits. And in addition to that, seems to be good for the agriculture industry as well. So excited about that. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jeff. We really appreciate you being here, and really impressive facility. You know, this is sort of like a type of step change for the industry, potential to move the kind of biocarbon and biochar industry forward. So I guess the key question I have is, you know, it sounds like the majority of this material is intended for steel manufacturing, right, in the nearby mills. And just curious about how you're thinking about moving this material potentially into the biochar space with CDR credits potentially, and what that kind of business decision looks like for you. Is it sort of an all or nothing approach, or is it, are you willing to kind of move into this market a bit at a time?
Yeah, I think the main thing, Miles, is the optionality. So we can consume all the material that's coming from the facility at our steel mills. You know, one thing that we take pride in when we're involved in acquiring the Columbus Steel Mill in Mississippi is that we added additional value-added lines with the whole purpose of creating product diversification and stability. And so we see it as another opportunity for us to diversify the offering, to help develop alternative routes for that material to be consumed, to provide additional benefits to the different industries, and really just to see what's out there and what's possible. We do have the capability to expand production at this facility in the event that there are favorable things that we identify through these types of the efforts that everybody here is undergoing. There's nothing to say we can't increase that capacity and then be able to satisfy all the needs.
Yeah, great. Well, I think that kind of capacity question brings me a little bit to, you know, feedstock. So you talked a little bit about the southern yellow pine feedstock, and I'll be the very honest, I'm not particularly familiar with southern yellow pine logging. You might be a little more than me, but I guess I'm kind of curious about how you look at that material and obviously the sustainability impact, and a little bit going back to what Steffi said around how they look at sustainability. And maybe you can talk a little bit about kind of how you at SDI are sourcing that wood sustainably in that region.
Sure, sure. So one of the unique things about the Columbus, Mississippi region is that in the last few years there's been a depletion in demand, well, depletion in demand globally really for paper and paper products. And so our primary feedstock will be pulpwood and thinnings, which historically would go into a pulp and paper type operation to go into those types of products. With the diminished demand in that region, there's been significant facility curtailment shutdowns that has created an opportunity. So as we're talking to the logging companies, the lumber companies, there's no demand for that portion of the trees that are being utilized. So just a little bit of background on thinnings and pulpwood. So when a logger or lumber company or a landowner is growing the southern yellow pine, the primary product that they're producing is for lumber, and that's typically the trunk portion of the tree. Well, in the process of that tree, that forest growing, they really overplant. And so in order to allow the healthy trees to continue to grow, they need to do a thinning. And so those thinnings would then go to us to allow room for the healthier trees to grow. And then they do the final harvest where the bottom portion of that tree goes to the lumber yard, and we essentially take the tops that go for our production, where we would chip that and utilize that for our process. As I mentioned, it's all PEFC source certified. There's some overlap with SFI, FSC. So we very much are paying very close attention to that material flow and where it's coming from.
Yeah, so these this trimming material is an integral part of the logging process in that region. Yeah, yep. Great. Final question is just around the biocarbon material. So maybe you could talk a little bit about a few of the specs around that material, and also I think one thing that people in this room might be interested in is whether they can kind of get samples from you for market and product development purposes. So maybe talk a little bit about kind of the specs of the material.
So from a material standpoint, we're trying to mimic anthracite coal. Anthracite coal is a very high fixed carbon coal. It's among the highest, hardest materials. It's about 85% fixed carbon, relatively low volatile matter, probably around 10%. Ash content, 3-4% or less. So we're looking to mimic that in our production for the steel mill. From the standpoint of different biochar applications, I'm really quite new to that area, but I believe that the actual specification for the carbon content of biochar is actually less than that, which would allow us to increase our production rates of a lower carbon product that might be suitable for different applications for folks here. As far as interest in samples or materials, we're absolutely interested in different opportunities to explore that, and really looking for where can it add the most value within the value chain. I get really excited about the agricultural elements, going beyond just the carbon sequestration element of it, but the value that it adds to the farmer, to the crops, and even the potential reduction of fertilizer requirements. So a lot of things exciting that are associated with what you all are doing.
Yeah, great. Well, Jeff, really appreciate your time. Really impressed by what you're all doing. So thank you very much for being here.